Sunday it was. Welcome to the favorites. I'm your host, Brandon Kravitz, joined by my fellow favorites, my compadres, Kendra Middleton and the Prime Minister himself, Stuckey. The 1 p.m.s, well over the 4 p.m.s on the East Coast, wrapped up just now as well. We have a lot to break down. Joe Burrow, injured. The Giants and the Cowboys, overtime classic. We have goofiness and silliness from the Dolphins and the Patriots. Kendra, let's try and see if we can encapsulate all of this in the next 45 minutes. Welcome, everybody, to the show. I let us down with the Three Musketeers parlay. We'll talk about that as well. But how was your Sunday viewing experience for week 2?
I fucking hate the Jacksonville Jaguars so
Unbelievable.
much. Why does Jake Browning own us? I don't understand. BTJ looks like he went on an ayahuasca retreat in the offseason. Travis Hunter looked lost. Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen are fighting on the sidelines. The only good thing that happened to me this week was that I had the Bashal Tuden over on yardage. Other than that, this game sucked. I feel like they're the same old Jags. I the fact that it wasn't even a loss to Joe Burrow just grinds my gears. Grinds my absolute gears.
When he went down, I said that you just can't lose this game if you want to be taken seriously. And then they go out and they do exactly that. And, you had that play towards the end where Liam Cohen decides with just under 4 minutes to go, he decides we're going to go for it, 4th and 5. You kick a field goal, you go up by 6. Now, the Bengals did go down the field and score a touchdown, but still plenty of time left. Give yourself an opportunity to be the last team with the ball. Stuckey, what'd you make of that decision? That drop was as much on Brian Thomas Jr. as it was on T-Law, but Trevor Lawrence pretty uneven today outside of what his box stats tell you.
Yeah, I like going for it there. I think you have to. I mean, you just got to catch the ball. Sometimes that's just what a football game comes down to. But you can't lose that game. You were up, and then Burrow goes down. You had a lead. Browning comes in. Yeah, you just can't lose that game. That's a win that you're going to want to have in your pocket at the end of the season. As far as moving forward for the Bengals, Browning's prop in market probably worth, like, when you're trying to account for what a quarterback's worth, obviously basic stuff. It's as far as like the overall premise. It's not only how valuable the quarterback is, it's the drop off to his replacement. Browning's not the worst replacement. He threw too many bad picks today, but he has played before and has been okay. So I think Burrow's probably worth, like, in market, maybe like 5.5 points of the spread. Your high end quarterbacks where the drop off is enormous is going to be like near a touchdown, like Lamar Jackson, if it would be like a touchdown. But yeah, huge, awful loss. But the Jags, I was thinking of you, Kendra. It was rough.
The De'Ami Brown drop was honestly more painful than any of BTJ's. But honestly, I don't even know if I agree with the fact that, like, you can box score watch Trevor Lawrence all you want. Neither of those interceptions were his fault, in my opinion. I thought he was their best player today.
Yeah, the offense, it was the defense. Like, you couldn't get a stop when you needed to against Jake Browning.
Yep.
And Hunter still has a while to go on offense. Like, you see, like, he's being coached on the sidelines, like, to what to do, where to go. He's more of like a decoy right now, but he might get there, but he's still a little raw.
I
The
thought he got
last,
kind of hosed with that pass interference call
Yeah,
on
that was
that
a little
scoring
soft.
drive.
Speaking of
yeah,
which, the refs today were horrendous. I mean, I got to go back and look at the total amount of penalties. But just
yeah,
sitting watching Red Zone in a couple of their games, I felt like I saw refs. Like the Giants, there was like 4 penalties on one play in the Giants game. There was look that end of that Panthers game. It was
yeah.
just a penalty every single play. I mean, it was insane. The Colts win because of a penalty. The old leverage, that was insane. And I guess good call, Kendra, on the Panthers, who almost miraculously won out.
Yeah, yeah. I was sweating that out on with Matt Mitchell. I do want to talk about that, but the last thing I want to ask you guys, what do you think about Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen getting into it on the sidelines? What does that mean for both of them early together in their career? Like, do you guys put any stock in that, or is it just like a, oh, who cares type of moment for you?
I don't. I didn't see it, so I don't know how bad it was. Is that when he like waved him off and then?
Yeah, Liam was like telling him to hit people in the chest, and Trevor just goes like this to him and turns around.
Yeah, I mean, usually those things are a little overblown, but maybe there's something more to it. But usually that's just like It's not nothing personal. It's just in the heat of the moment. And they're like just getting used to each other. So I wouldn't read too much into it. But who do the Jags got next?
Well,
I
they have
don't.
they have the Texans on
Is it?
Sunday at 1 on the East. They're favored by 1.5 points. An interesting early line on that one. We'll see what the Texans look like on Monday night. You're right. That's going to be one of those things that gets blown up. Certainly in my neck of the woods, I do Orlando Sports Talk Radio. We broadcast around the state, and I know that that's going to be one of those hot topics. I like the fact that Liam Cohen's willing to get on him because Trevor Lawrence has been propped up as the face of the franchise, the untouchable in Jacksonville, and I think it's good that he has a coach that's willing to push him like that live in the moment. I think it's something that Trevor needs to get used to more than anything else. I was going to bring with me at Three Musketeers, kind of following the footsteps of the Zaxby's box that we got on the last episode. But I nuked our parlay, so I felt like it was in bad taste because the Jets were my nominee at +6.5. Felt great about it. Total flop. They get blasted by 20. We're never in it. They even bloodied Josh Allen's nose early on in the game. They were down so bad in that game. I think Mitch Trubisky would have continued the blowout. And of course, Josh Allen, being the tough son of a bitch that he is, comes back in and they make quick work. I think the Jets may have been one of those teams, even in a loss. Last week, we said collectively, this is a team that we look at as an upgrade. I'm right back into the cellar with the New York Jets.
Yeah, I mean, like I had the Jets too. I mean, technically it was a good bet because at +7 it closes 5.5, but that's just the CLV trophy. Who cares? It was a bad bet. Didn't get to the window. Even Trubisky even came in on like a 3rd and long and completed a pass. That's how bad it was for the Jets today. But I definitely fell for a trap that I try to avoid. Like I felt for that what I saw, and I upgraded the Jets, and I was like, all right, this new offense and Engstrand, and it looked good with Fields. But generally speaking, you don't want to overreact to any one week, but especially week one, it's more prudent more often than not to stick more to your priors going into week two. So. Yeah, I definitely overreacted, and that was wasn't the best spot for the Bills, but they just thoroughly dominated.
I'd
Kendra,
like.
the Panthers, you got to talk to me, but what a you nailed it. I mean, then that was your play within our Three Musketeers parlay, and I thought it was dead in the water. I thought you were going to join me in my misery when we hopped on together here, and nope. You your squad came barreling all the way back. They were down 27-3 in this game. I'm assuming at some point you lost hope and then just kind of tripped back into it.
Yes. We did like a meet and greet at a brewery today that I was there watching all of the games with a bunch of people. And they were down. They had scored 3 points when I left, and it was like a 45-minute drive back to my house. I had the audio on in the car. I was listening to Red Zone in the car. And when I got home, I joined the Zoom, was talking to Matt, and Matt watched me sweat that out, the penalties at the end, all of it. Bryce Young, I'm sorry, big dog. I'm out on you. You looked like ass today, but thank you for covering. I love you, Chuba Hubbard. Teteroa McMillan might actually be okay. If they had somebody even remotely decent at the quarterback position, I think that they would be a dangerous team. I don't understand how the fall off happened from them playing in a Super Bowl to where they're at now in, less than 10 years. But holy crap, what a backdoor.
I mean, don't trash
quite
him too much. He
impressive.
played well late. He stat padded late. I think he ended up throwing it like 55, 60 times for over 300 yards. But yeah, and their defense is still rough. You know what? Not to overreact to just 2 weeks, but the the Colts offense might be real.
I want to circle back on a take of mine. Speaking of the Justin Fields thing, we had a conversation earlier in the week where we were saying the next, maybe Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith type. Your nomination was Justin Fields. I got to say my Daniel Jones thing, cooking.
Yeah.
They got lucky
Justin
with the
Fields is
leverage. Like the Cowboys, and there's 17 seconds left. It's like they got to get one first down and they can kick a field goal. And Aubrey did and hit it from 63, 64. With Russ throwing for like 500 yards and the Giants still lose. It's got to suck to be a Giants fan.
The
Well,
Colts might
that's
have
actually
aura.
they kind of do. Does Daniel Jones have swag?
Yes, he always has. Yes.
I wouldn't go that far, but uh, They have all the pieces, and like maybe it was just the problem was the Giants. I don't know, but there's something to this offense. I mean, Jones finished 23 of 34, 316, a touchdown, no mistakes. And then the Colts even went like they got hosed on a couple calls early. I think they went 0 of 2 on fourth down. Like there was, I mean, they outgained Denver 473 to 320. So they deserve that win, even if they got a bit lucky. But that offense might be real, and the Colts definitely have life in that division.
They do. Sitting at 2-0 right now, they're feeling good, and it looked like they weren't even going to get that last kick. But the refs came in, nice little late flag for them. Colts get a second shot, and 2-0 for the first time since 2009 for the Indianapolis Colts. You mentioned these resurgent quarterbacks. Can I nominate, since the Justin Fields one is already dead, can I nominate another that's playing inside of the same exact stadium? Russell Wilson. I don't know.
Ah,
I don't know what Brian Daboll was doing in the fourth quarter going, hey, I think I have packages for Jackson Dart, even though we're in this thing.
That
It
was
was
bizarre.
very bizarre, and it
That
doesn't
was like
seem
the
like
tank. Was that the tank package? Like, oh shit, Russell's on. We got to make sure that we don't win this game. I couldn't come up with an explanation for. I mean, Russell Wilson was that throw that should have been the game winner. That throw to Neighbors was. I mean, it was a great
vintage
catch too.
Russ.
vintage
That was
Russ.
yeah, like one of the best deep ball throwers of all time. But that
I
throw
think
was
that one like
ridiculous.
pushed him into the Hall of Fame. You know, if he was on the borderline, that throw is like, okay, fine. Russ is a Hall of
No.
Famer.
You guys, Russell Wilson gives me the ick. I hate him so much. The fact that the teams that he's on can't listen to Future in the locker room because that's Sierra's baby daddy is the craziest thing of all time.
Well, yeah, I mean, very icky individual, but the moon ball is still there. And now he's got Malik Neighbors to throw the ball to.
He's so
Wandale
cringe.
Robinson's going off.
Ugh, his, Mr. Unlimited dangerous stuff. Oh my God, give me a break, old man.
450, 3 touchdowns, 23 yards rushing. Russ is back. But yes, Brandon Aubrey, Mr. Automatic, he gets the win for the Dallas Cowboys. How about some woats and some goats? So the greatest of the day, the worst of the day. I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna go off the board here. A team that we did not see today that I think gained major street cred as if they needed it would be the Green Bay Packers. They held the Lions to 13 points in week one, 3.8 yards per play. 1 week later, the Lions score 52, 8.8 yards per play. This Packers defense is for real. They made Jaden Daniels look foolish on Thursday night. And this Lions offense, I mean, I guess it wasn't, we all wanted to see was it Ben Johnson? Was it not? It clearly was not. This Lions offense is going to be fine. So you can go ahead and upgrade the Packers and upgrade the Lions while you're at it as well.
Dan Campbell wanted, he was running that up on Johnson. He was not taking his starters out of that game. And he was going to get as many points as he possibly could.
Imagine wanting to stick it to your former coworker who all he did was just take a job that was great for his personal life.
I mean, that's just the Campbell mentality.
Yep.
But yeah, Goff. I mean, Goff indoors against that's where he's most comfortable. And their offense did look great. The play calling was better today, and the Bears' defense was completely lost. Like it was nowhere to be found.
I didn't understand the hatred towards Ben Johnson and his return from his former offensive players. Like, did you guys see Amon-Ra say that they were gonna boo him during like commercial break? I don't remember if it was like during commercial break, but they were gonna boo him during the return. Like, that's aggressive to me. But I guess you talked your shit, you won the game. I think the Lions draft so well that it doesn't matter for them contractually. Like, they just keep reloading in the draft. I just don't know if Jared Goff can win the big one. That's my only knock against this Lions team. And that division is just going to eat each other to death through the entire season.
What about you guys? Where do you sit as far as the greatest of the day?
Great.
Chiefs, Eagles.
No, but who's your great? Like who is? I guess well, yours has been McMillan, or whoever got the pack.
Right.
Whoever got the
Yeah, Bryce
Panthers.
Young, Chuba Hubbard,
Whoever got the Panthers back
Dave
door.
Canales,
Uh,
Dave Tepper.
my
You can
goat.
hate on the sad cats all you want. It's okay.
I bought in live because you sold me on him, so I was able to eke out a small profit. But all kudos goes to you for that one.
My goat is probably Flacco for the fumble and the interception because I got very lucky getting that over, which looked dead the entire first half. My woat is me. I lost all three of my sides today, but the real woat is Travis Kelce. Which I could go on and on about that game, but I mean that obviously lost. The game was over when that happened. You can't just drop a ball that was going to be a touchdown and it leads to seven the other way. It's a 14-point swing in a game where no one could score. But the Eagles had won that game on the margins. So like Elliott made a 58-yarder, Butker missed a 58-yarder, and the Eagles are able to get 1 yard whenever they need it. It was evident in that game. It ended up running out the clock. It ended up keeping drives alive. And it's the story of the Eagles all the time. But the Chiefs can't because the Chiefs don't sneak it. And I thought Andy Reid had a really poor game overall. One, he going for it on that fourth down in his own territory, I thought was a terrible decision. Like number one, you don't sneak it. So you're gonna have to try to run it and like against that Eagles front. But the game was just a stalemate. No one was doing anything. The Eagles had 115 yards. Then the Eagles have a 2 yard drive, kick another 50 plus yarder. They're up three. So then you're at the Eagles 10 yard line. You end up going for it and getting it, but then you throw a pick. Hindsight's 2020, but if they just punted there and it's a stalemate, guarantee Reed kicks the field goal there to go up 13-10. So it just all unfolded from there. I also wouldn't have punted late when he did. You're just not good. The Eagles are just going to get they're going to get 10 yards more often than not. And then if they get nine, then they're definitely getting 10 on fourth down. So I thought Reed had a really poor game. Although I will say the NFL needs to look into the tush push in that the Eagles go false start on that thing all the time. And they did it on the last one, which should have been called, and they missed. But it's already a huge advantage, and you're only going to stop it, I don't know, what, like 10% of the time. But when their offensive guards are firing off early before the snap, and it's even harder to get any leverage. But yeah, I thought Sirianni actually outcoached Reed, and the Eagles just did all the things in the margins. Like Elliott was better than Butker on those 58 yarders, which were enormous in a game like that. And the Chiefs just need to figure out something. Like if Mahomes isn't going to do it because you're afraid he got hurt. Like how many other players have you seen get hurt on a QB sneak? Like that's why they don't do it. Then get someone else. Everyone look at the Eagles. You know they're going to sneak it. They still sneak it and they still get it. It doesn't so train someone else to do it and come in when it's 4th and inches and sneak it with that person. It doesn't matter if the defense knows. It's better than turning around, handing it off to your shitty backfield and getting stuffed. But I
feel like you just
100%
nailed it.
punted.
Like that's the answer. That's the thing that they have not been willing to do to help this offense. I think Mahomes looks uneven, and this is now going on. We're going on year plus of Mahomes not looking like the best quarterback in the NFL. I think clearly, if you have to take the Super Bowls out of it because he's got the accolades and he's done all of these great things. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson look worlds better than he does right now. Just the eye test, they look worlds better than Mahomes does.
But they also have a running game.
But exactly, like that's
more
the
balance.
point.
The Chiefs don't have any running game, and then to be fair, Mahomes is supposed to have Worthy and Rice, which will obviously help.
That's 3 points though.
Yeah, but they don't run it. They don't run it. They don't invest in their backfield, and they just have no running game to help him out.
It's just so easy in today's NFL to just trade a 2nd-round pick and bring in some superstar running back on some bad team. Go get Jonathan Taylor when he's available, whatever it is, rather than relying on Isaiah Pacheco. And Kareem Hunt looks so washed. I mean, he makes Travis Kelce look like he's still in his prime. He's so washed.
I've seen Kelce catch that ball 100 out of 100. I can't believe he dropped that. And then it bounces right in to Makuba. I thought Makuba had a good game, right into his hands. And that was the ball game once that happened. But yeah, I thought Reed had a bad game.
Worthy and Rice are worth those 3 points though. Like I think if both those guys are playing, that's a little bit different of a game. And talking about like someone they could go out and get on the low, I really do believe that the Miami Dolphins are going to become sellers. And
You're finally on board. You're finally off the Dolphins.
And A-Chain might be available for them. Like to be honest, both options. Oh, I'm so off the Dolphins. That was such a kick in the balls. Living up here, such a kick in the balls.
I'm so glad I didn't lose money on that team today. Because it was just all the signs were pointing to, you got to take Miami in this spot. No, thank you. wanted no part of that, and they should have won. And they could have won on a walk-off. Devon Achane would have walked right into the end zone, but he stepped out of bounds. And then, Tua's going to Tua. That's where I feel like Tua and Trevor, for me, look very similar. Statistically, great. When I need you to be at your best at the end of these games, I'm left wanting more. Even more so with Tua than anybody else. How is no one going to nominate for a vote Caleb Johnson of the Pittsburgh Steelers? He just gave the Seahawks a free touchdown today. I wound up taking Seattle +3 late, so thank you, Caleb Johnson, for that. But not knowing the new kickoff rules, totally unacceptable. It was a backbreaker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rodgers looked terrible today. But Caleb Johnson I think he'd be my number one vote. He basically handed a win to the opposition. Can't do that as a rookie. We probably don't see him again.
I mean, look, you look at the Steelers through 2 weeks. They should have lost last week to the Jets in a shootout. Well, looking back after what we saw today, yikes. And then Sam Darnold, who looked horrendous last week, rips up with that defense. What did he throw? Did he throw for 300? Yeah, he was 22 of 33, 295, 2 touchdowns. He had that pick that was tipped up in the air. But the Steelers defense, I mean, Walker ran for over 100, and then you look back and you say, oh, well, they snuck out the win against the Jets. But making the Jets offense look like that, and then the Seahawks offense look like that today, and then you see the Jets against the Bills where they can't even get a first down. There's some things to be worried about with Pitt. And yeah, I guess, is this the year the voodoo ends? They got the voodoo last week, but
yeah, I was just going to say, wouldn't it almost be poetic if Aaron Rodgers was the reason that Mike Tomlin finally goes under 500 and rides into the sunset? Like, what's that meme of like the doors with like the blood on it and it's the Grim Reaper?
Yes.
Just like that would be Aaron Rodgers' way to go. And to be honest, I think that if Mike Tomlin coached in a bigger market, he would have been gone years ago. Like if he was in a New York, a Boston, something like that. Places in the Northeast, a Philly, they don't tolerate middling like that. But he's lucky that he's somewhere like Pittsburgh. I do think he's a great coach, but it would just be so poetic for Aaron Rodgers as the Grim Reaper to finally be like his final takedown is Mike Tomlin finally going under 500 with him as his quarterback.
Maybe that's the long play for Aaron Rodgers. He's trying to take out all these guys.
Yeah, where would it say they go?
He's collecting Horcruxes.
Yeah, where would he go next if he wanted to play one more year to ruin? I'm trying to think who needs a quarterback.
The Dolphins.
Back to the Jets.
I was going to say the Browns.
Yeah, but they're probably going to draft one, but yeah.
The Saints.
The Saints, yeah. Go down to New Orleans.
But he's got to ruin someone's career. It's got to be some aging coach. Like, what if Bo Nix turns out to suck? He can go end Sean Payton's career.
Shanahan.
That's it. That's the one. Because he's been flirting with San Francisco the whole time. He grew up a Niners fan. That would be full circle.
Poetic. Yeah. Because Brock Purdy, I got to be honest, I don't think he's him.
I think he's serviceable enough for them, but the
contract.
And today was telling. I think this is a very nice time to smoothly transition into your world's worst, least favorite person. Mac Jones was awesome today. Hate to tell you. Mac Jones. Mac Jones looked good.
Somebody tweeted
I didn't want to bring it up.
And they said, what if BTJ is only good at catching touchdowns from Mac Jones? And I wanted to take a shot right then and there. That is my nightmare. That is my literal nightmare. Did you guys see the outfit that he wore to the game the last 2 weeks? Last week, he wore some like velvet, bright red Santa Claus suit. And then this week, he showed up dressed like a head coach from like an 80s movie. What is his vibe? Why is he like this? Why? I hate him so much. Why are you like this?
Jags lose to Jake Browning, and Mac Jones gets a win.
If I have to watch him beat the Jaguars in 2 weeks, I will.
Oh no.
Yeah,
they said Purdy's like 2 to 5 weeks, I think. So
he's playing that week.
Well, that's the thing that goes back to the Purdy conversation that is never ending. But I think when you talk about the drop off of Burrow to Browning is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 5-6 points. From Purdy to Mac Jones, we talked about Purdy's worth is about 3.5 points to the spread, and the number reflected that. But
yeah,
I think that was an overreaction. I
I have it at like 4, but I might have been too low. Uh,
After watching Mac Jones, what would you adjust that to just off the top of your head?
maybe 3.5. But I'd have to dig in a little bit more to the game. But
They did
it
play
was
the
impressive
Saints.
considering who the Saints aren't a great defense, but considering who he was working with, right? The 49ers are depleted at wide receiver, and they didn't have Kittle, so that makes it a bit more impressive. And then you obviously just he's going to get a bump. We've seen this before with some of these quarterbacks who go and work with a great quarterback offensive mind, and he's just in a better position with better game plans, better play calling. So he definitely benefits from that as well. But I mean, I had it at like around 4, I think. So maybe it's 3.5. It was definitely an impressive performance.
So their next few games, they play the Cardinals at home next Sunday. They play the Jags at home, and then they have the Rams. So that would be 4 weeks. The fifth possible week, which I doubt he'll need, they would be away at Tampa Bay. But like that's not a bad schedule for him to miss, to be honest. I think Mac Jones can beat the Cardinals. And if I know the Jacksonville Jaguars the way that I think I know the Jacksonville Jaguars, he can beat the Jacksonville Jaguars at home.
It's one of the reasons a lot of people really liked San Francisco coming into the season. Not so much because of Purdy. They lost a lot of pieces, but that schedule is one of the easiest in the NFL.
Yeah,
In
if they
terms
can
of,
steal, like
yeah,
if they start 4-0, which is very realistic, you have Arizona and Jacksonville. I mean, if I had to guess, they probably split them, but even starting 3-1 with how easy their schedule is and all the injuries they have, they they would be extremely happy because they could have like today the Saints had the ball late. They could have lost to the Seahawks. So getting those 2 wins to start, just get at least one more at home, start to get healthier, and they're going to be scary. But their schedule obviously sets up well for them all season.
turf toe variant got Kendra going on the last episode. We have another turf toe situation. Joe Burrow is going to be out. It looks like multiple weeks. I don't think that's an official report just yet, but I would prepare mentally to not see Joe Burrow out there with Cincinnati for the next couple of weeks.
Well, I
An
mean
epidemic.
the Bengals they everything goes wrong for them in the first 2 weeks, and it did, but they are somehow 2-0. They had what, 3 yards in the second half against the Browns, but get field goal misses. They get a Jake Browning comeback victory in week
And they
2.
covered.
Yeah, that's if you had the Jags plus 3.5, that
That's a
was
brutal beat. That might be the worst beat of the day.
Ah,
that
you
yeah, that was
guys, do
rough.
you mind the Bengals schedule the next couple of weeks? Let's say he's out the full 5, right? At Vikings, at Broncos, home against the Lions, at the Packers, and then home against the Steelers. They are cooked.
Yeah, it depends how long he's out because their schedule coming up is
Cooked. Even if he's out 2 weeks, cooked. Those defenses, no, like you're not, no, I'm sorry. The Bengals, I'm panicking.
yeah, because their defense is bad too. Yeah, how long Burrow out is out because you're in the AFC, you're in the AFC North. It's not going to be easy to get the double-digit wins. You don't if he's out like 4 weeks and you go 0-4. I'm not saying you can't come back from that because their
Look
schedule
at last
eases up.
season, I guess. He
Yeah, I mean
went
their
he
schedule
went
eases up
dummy
after
mode.
that, but you would rather have Browning for their schedule when it goes to Jets, Bears, Steelers, Patriots. So yeah, how long did they say he's out for?
2 to 5.
The projection is 3 to 5, but I don't think they've officially announced that yet. But whatever. I mean, they're gonna push it. It's Joe Burrow. They're gonna hope to stay alive. They started 2-0. It gives them a little bit more wiggle room even in their tough division.
He's
Um,
constantly getting killed in the pocket though, so like I'm not surprised that it happened. And he hangs in there as well as any quarterback, but um, I guess there was a pretty high probability at some point Burrow was gonna miss time. I mean, he's back there getting killed constantly.
How
Um,
have they not changed anything for him on that line? I just don't
all
understand.
the him and the receivers got all the money, and the owners are cheap. They just that's how it is in Cincy. But 2-0, they're two. I mean, you got to be happy if you're a Bengals fan because you easily could be 0-2 with Burrow out, coming up on a hard schedule, and then their season would be like completely over. Like
I
you're
mean,
looking at 0
happy.
and 0 and
Yeah.
5, 0 and 6 maybe if he's out for a month. If they lost those 2 games, it arguably should have. So at least they got those two in the back of their pocket.
I don't know that there's a Bengals fan listening to this that's happy right now, just given the Joe Burrow news, but you can definitely feel some relief for that 2-0. Best and worst bet of the day. I had a two-way teaser at the Lions down to basically a pick against the Bears. That was ease. Nice little rocking chair. And then the Colts up to plus 7.5. So I had that one in the app. Make sure you follow all of us in the Action Network app, all of the plays that we put out there. Basically even on the day, so it's a wash. And then the Jets bet was just absolutely brutal. What about you, Stuckey?
I had a horrible day. All of my bets were bad. I mean, the Chiefs game I thought was like a coin flip, so it wasn't a great bet.
Didn't you have the over in that Saints 49ers game?
Yeah, I did okay on totals. I had the over on the Ravens, but I thought I got lucky there. I mean, that was like 10-3 at the half. Lamar Jackson covers in the first half again. It's insane at this point. I think he's like, I wonder if Evan's on this call if he has those numbers, but and even as a favorite of 6+ in the first half, he's like I think now 13-2 against the spread. But my worst bets were the Jets. Talked about that earlier. My Titans were back. I lost money on the Titans, so that's all. I didn't have many sides today. I didn't love the card. My two favorite bets are the next 2 nights, so hopefully the Texans and the Falcons coming up here in a bit can salvage the week, but was pretty deserved bad day.
Yeah, I went 500 on the day. I would say my best bet of the day was Bashal Tootin revenge game. Had him on the over on his yardage. That hit pretty quick. And then my worst bet of the day had to be the Dolphins. I mean, the Dolphins just absolutely depressing. I was in a room full of Patriots fans.
Ooh.
And the fact that I have to go to work and deal with this all week now just really is twisting the knife even more.
So you went
So,
you went from chirping on the
yep.
on the
Yep.
punt
I was,
return for a
oh,
touchdown,
yeah.
and yet you got shut up within 40 seconds when
Was this
Gibson
yeah, was
returned.
it
Wild.
was it
Wild.
known in the bar that you were on the
Oh,
Dolphins?
yes. Oh, yes. Because it was a bar full of people that listened to me on the radio. And on top of that, my Jaguars were losing like at the same moment that was all going on. So I literally wanted to crawl under the bar and hide. So that was how my Sunday went. Literally a room full of Patriots fans as I'm sweating out a Dolphins bet and I'm watching Jake Browning repeatedly kick me in the dick. So that was great. I had such a fun time. They did have pickle flavored beer though, and that was my saving grace. Thank you, Jake Browning. I hate you. And Mac Jones. God, why? Why?
You'll always have the Panthers though, Kendra.
Me, and that's my real sad cat. That's me and my sad cat forever. Love the Panthers. Maybe I'll become a miserable Panthers fan instead. They've at least been to a Super Bowl.
By the way, who in their right mind wants to bet the Dolphins on Thursday night against the Bills?
The line I've already seen the line move by a point. It opened at 11.5. I see it at 12.5 now.
I'm trying to think if there's always a price, no matter what, on any
Yep.
team. I'll play any team.
I would need 2 touchdowns.
McDaniel's getting fired? Question mark. Is McCackey's out?
It's
If
gonna
they
get
lose to the Bills?
it's gonna get rough for Miami. They host the Jets in 2 weeks. And then they're at the Panthers. So maybe their offense did look better today, but their defense there's no solve on the defense. The offensive line is still a mess. The Patriots defense has issues, by the way.
Did you guys see Vrabel running down the sideline? That was crazy.
Yes, I love watching Vrabel on the sidelines.
He's a maniac. That defense is awful. I would bet right now. I don't know. This isn't out there. I'm just gonna see if I can create a market for it. Patriots never score 33 again this season. This was their high water mark. That
Since
offense is not that
2022
good.
that they've scored 30 points. And it was Bailey Zappi that did it. Fun fact. 2022 Patriots, the last time they scored 30 points with Bailey Zappi.
The Patriots need Gonzalez back. I don't know what's going on with him. Like, hasn't he not?
Hamstring.
Yeah, but like he hasn't practiced since July. Is that true?
July 22nd or yeah, that week of that. Yeah.
That seems like I don't know. It's how
Some people think it's contract. I don't think I do.
you just think it's like the worst hamstring pull of all time.
No, okay. So I don't know if you guys remember the draft his year. What happened was I think the Patriots had the 14th pick traded back to 17. He was the guy Bill wanted, which is why Bill traded back, took him. And the reason that he allegedly fell back in that draft was because teams had toughness concerns about him. So I think that it's just maybe he's not a dog. Okay. Straight up.
Doesn't have that dog in him.
No.
Yeah. You know, you
Yeah, but
either
they
have it or you
definitely missed
don't.
him the last 2 weeks because
That was his big knock in the draft was that he was not a tough guy. And Vrabel's all about tough guys.
Mm.
interesting.
Stuckey, do you see the stat popped up in the chat? Evan is on it. Lamar first half ATS 62, 40, and 2 against the AFC North 20, 10, and 1.
Yeah, it's not just a Lamar stat; it's a Harbaugh stat as well. I think Harbaugh was pretty good with Flacco also. Um, I felt for Flacco today. It was just weird seeing him in, as I'm a Ravens fan, and seeing him in Baltimore, them celebrating, and then him just getting destroyed. Even though he had the luckiest touchdown pass that we'll see all season. Did you see that on fourth down, where the Ravens went to pick to intercept it on a fourth down, and then it just popped up in the air and then landed right in a Browns receiver's hands?
Take him
But
how you can get him.
I felt for Flacco. But yeah, the Ravens rolled. Who? Oh, you want to talk about? You got to have some cojones to bet this. You want to sell high on a team? You want to buy low? Packers go to Cleveland next week. Who in their right mind wants to bet the Browns?
The fact that that number is not double digits is mind-boggling.
I gotta see what I make it. But I didn't adjust
You
for
do, let me just say you do not need to bet that right now if you want to be on the Browns. So wait. You wait till Sunday. Everybody is going to have this in their teasers and their parlays. There's not going to be there's going to be a couple of psychos that end up taking the Browns. That number is going to creep up to 10. You're at least going to get another point on that.
Uh,
I
I was at 6.3, but that was before this weekend. So
And the Packers have extra rest. Come on.
That's gonna
yeah,
be
I don't think they would
gross.
get to 7. I don't think it'll come back to. I don't think that'll drop. So you might as well wait. But I've been wrong before.
The one that stands out to me for next week is the Ravens and the Lions. I have upgraded the Lions a lot after what they did this week. It was nice to see them return to form. 5.5 feels like too much. That game should be really close. Should be high scoring between the Ravens and the Lions. That's next Monday night. I think that would be. I haven't bet anything yet for next week, but I'm going to take a look at that, see what the market does with it. But at 5.5, I would love to get that at 6. I just don't think it's ever going to touch that number. So I would take it at 5.5 now. If it's still available when we hop off of this recap show, I think I'm going to end up on the Lions.
I would wait. I disagree with you. I think the Ravens roll in that game. Golf outdoors against that defense has ended poorly before in Baltimore. But
Even in decent weather like this, it's not like it's November.
even if there's a little breeze, Goff is he turns into a pumpkin. The but yeah, I would wait. So if it's 5.5, you might as well wait. I would imagine the Ravens may take money, but you might as well wait. If it drops to 5, it's not as detrimental as potentially getting a 6 or better. The yeah, what else did I look at for next week?
The Vikings are staring at me in the face right now.
I
With
guess
Joe Burrow out 4.5 feels kind of nice.
yeah, that won't be that anymore. I also got to see how healthy the Vikings are. The Vikings have a ton of injuries right now. Um, I how about the Sunday night game is the 0-2 Chiefs against the 0-2 Giants.
Oh, do we think the Giants are good or bad? I think they're kind of okay.
I think these are some spread covering fools. I would want to be on the Giants.
Yeah, I mean the Giants have fifth pieces. That's just their offensive
The,
line. I think their
the Chiefs
defense.
don't cover. They just don't cover big spreads.
Yeah, their offense is just not capable. They got to go like it's a painful. I bet on them today. It's the most painful experience watching them try to get a first down now. Like they got to go 4-yard pass, 3-yard pass, third and 3. They have no running game, and then you got to complete a short pass over the middle, or Mahomes. Their best offense is Mahomes scrambling. That's basically what it comes down to right now. They need Worthy and Rice back, obviously, but um, I could get the talking to the Giants there, but yeah, I haven't played anything yet. Have to update everything after today, but we'll talk about that on Tuesday and Thursday.
For
I
sure.
might I might get in on the Vikings now just because that's not going to get any better.
Is that up? I doubt it's up. Let me see.
Where
Yeah.
do you have that number?
There's a 4.5 right now on Bet365. There's one on Caesars. There's one on FanDuel.
That's got to be outdated though. There's no way that number's up. Of course, my phone dies right now.
The Action app is tracking that at a 5.5, so it's definitely on the
Yeah, but it's
move.
probably just like because it's probably just been pulled. I would assume, but it's just showing that
I just refreshed our
last.
website and now it's at 3.5, and there's some 3s out there. So I might go ahead and do that now.
Yeah, but I think that's just an outdated line that it's pulling from. I don't think it's still up. But like I said, we'll talk about that on Tuesday and Thursday.
All right, well, let's go Falcons. I'm tailing Stuckey on this one, and if
Hey,
they
you're right.
win,
Hold on, you are right, Kendra. There's a 4. I'm seeing a 4.
I'm probably gonna do that now. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys.
Let's see.
the early bird gets the worm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess where is that? Is that in Minnesota?
In Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, I would make it like 6 with Browning. So it's not egregious. I'm just surprised they didn't pull it. But yeah, we'll see. Vikings have a ton of injuries, so that's worth watching tonight. The game's about to start, right?
Yeah, that's my
Yep.
only fear is that God forbid something insane happens. Although Max Brosmer, my king, I think that he's gonna be an okay backup in this league.
I like Brosmer.
Me too. So
Hey, let's get this Falcons spread. We are profitable today if the Falcons cover 3.5. And it sounds like we're all pretty much floating in the middle. So if Kendra, are you following? Are you group thinking this with us? The favorite Sunday night spread?
I don't think so, no. Because here's the thing. You guys don't know this about me, but I have a theory where the game after a quarterback becomes a dad, they go fucking nuts. They go crazy. It's a working theory of mine. I want to say it's just over 500, but I might even
We're gonna get Evan Abrams on that one.
I might get real degen and even have a JJ McCarthy anytime if I grow a set in the next 3 minutes, just because I'm like big dad energy. Kind of love it. BDE, let's go.
I will counter. My only thing is I don't have data on new dads. Maybe there's something to that. Hopefully I'm gonna be a dad soon, so maybe there's a bump in my betting week that week. But I will say it was a short week, and then he had a kid and he was away from the teams, and he's basically a rookie, so maybe that has some negative impact not being able to play the team this week.
The only time it's bit me in the ass was after McVay became a new dad and they sucked for like 3 weeks because he didn't sleep at all.
Right. I think it's probably different for coaches. I remember sitting up in the hospital, sweating a Magic Knicks line the night my son was born, and we cashed that. So add that to the system. That's going to do it for us tonight. The favorites will return on Tuesday afternoon right here on the Action Network YouTube page, talking about Week 3 in the NFL. Good luck tonight. Let's go Falcons. We'll see you back here on the Favorites podcast.
Lego.